Now, after Atiku told Nigerians that 2027 will be his last time contesting for presidency, the Obidient Movement have started looking for other options. I repeat, after Atiku said that 2027 general elections would be his last time contesting for presidency in Nigeria, the Obidient Movement have started looking for options because they know that Peter Obi would not get that ticket. And so many Obedients are saying that if Peter Obi does not get that ticket, they will leave the party. Southern ADC are rooting for Peter Obi. The southern structure of the ADC, they are rooting for Peter Obi. So if Peter Obi does not get that ticket, that means ADC in the south is a goner. Now the Obedient Movement, they are looking for options. I was warning Peter Obi, I said, leave the ADC. The ADC is not a platform for you to carry out your political ambition. The ADC is not a platform. I even prefer the APC. You have political future in the APC than the ADC. The ADC is a northern political platform. Listen to what Atiku said, that he is the most popular candidate. Every other person, they are elements. You are calling Peter Obi element. You are calling Amechi element. He is the most qualified. If Atiku says that 2027 would be his last outing, that means after 2027, he's not contesting. Do you think that a Peter Obi can be able to beat Atiku in the ADC in any consensus or primaries? Atiku has more stakes in the ADC. Atiku, now them buy ADC before they come call Peter Obi, come join us. So Atiku has more stakes in the ADC than a Peter Obi. I was telling the Obedient Movement that Peter Obi, they are not going to give Peter Obi this ticket. Some people were saying this and that. When Peter Obi and Kwankwaso went to Kano State, the Atiku camp was not happy. When Peter Obi and Kwankwaso went to Kano State and did all those their drama and acrobatic, the Atiku camp was not happy. Yesterday, Atiku was speaking as if he was angry with every other contestant in the ADC. I'm the only person. Tamwal is not popular. Tamwal is only popular in the south. Amechi is only popular in Tamwal is only popular in Kano State. Amechi is only popular in the south, in River State. I'm the only candidate that has the popularity. No other person did this and this. That means Atiku is bent on getting that presidency. Now I spoke to some of my friends in the ADC, and I told them, Shebu, I don't see Atiku interview with Arise TV. If you listen to that interview, it tells you that the man would never be in that party and Peter Obi becomes the presidential candidate. He will be the one. Since when Atiku don't run for a presidency, he never would want to step down for anybody. Now they have deceived the Peter Obi, they have lured him into the ADC, and now there's no way. You see, INEC timetable after the primaries, there's no way for Peter Obi. I'm even still saying there's still small roads, small open. Leave the ADC now, Peter Obi, because anybody that if the ADC does not win the next election, all the politicians in that ADC, their political irrelevance starts from 2027. Start from the day they announce the winner or they announce Tinubu. If Tinubu loses the election, Tinubu's political irrelevance starts from the day they announce the ADC. So the risk that Peter Obi is taking, you should take risk where it makes sense. In the past, we have aligned with the North, and they have already shown everybody that if you are going to align with us, you will be our PA. You cannot lead us. You mean that the North has over 70% stake in the ADC, and they will elect a Peter Obi? Or they will sit down there and they will do consensus and say, Peter Obi, let Peter Obi. No, at all. Even L5. You see, look at the plots. The North have two plans. You see, any region that does not have political ideology and agenda, they will use that region as houseboy. That's why the Southeast, they use them as houseboy. The Southwest have been able to define their political path because they have an advantage. They are the economic hub, economic lifeline of Nigeria. That is the advantage they have. The advantage the old Southeast region had was that they had resources, but they use the military divide South and Southeast. So the Southeast does not hold Nigeria ransom. There's nothing the Southeast can use and say, this is, you can say we are business. All those one are Emifera, that way they do business. No. The South is even much more. You see, when they say all these Avengers, all these militants, if militants say today with the vest, one blow pipeline, Nigeria government go to shake. Because we are being sustained by the resources majorly in the South. In the South. The Southwest has something they used to hold Nigeria down, which is the ports, the airports, the industries, the technology, and what have you. What does the Southeast, what can the Southeast use to hold Nigeria to ransom? Now let's look at Nnamdi Kanu. When Nnamdi Kanu was being incarcerated in DSS, and there were protests in the Southeast would only say, want to sit at home. In the whole of Southeast. That's just it. The sit at home did not really affect the federal government. It is the state government that has been affected. The federal government don't say. So far, the federal government have access to the gas and oil in the Southeast. They don't care about anybody. That's why I was against the sit at home. You are doing sit at home. You want to vex federal government, but federal government still they carry in oil and gas. Federal government still they take oil and gas from a region. You don't care. It's like lockdown. It is your governors that are collecting IDL that you go affect. The federal government are in hold Nnamdi Kanu, but you are pressuring the governors, and even the governors they can They can even manage the situation. They will not give you roads. They will not give you amenities. It's only Monday, Abi. And that Monday, money they're supposed to collect for revenue, they go just use and say, if you sit down on Monday, that money, the roads we're supposed to do, that money will not cover up. So, politically, the Southeast don't have an agenda, don't have a path. That's why Peter Obi can be running from pillar to post, without building a team. The people that survive politically in Nigeria are those that have a political direction and agenda. What is the political direction of the Southeast? Now, if Obi had won that elections, most of the things that Tinubu is doing, Obi cannot do it because he does not have a political weight from his Southeast brothers, his Southern brothers. Tinubu has that political weight. No, when I say about Tinubu, because you don't like Tinubu, you why is this guy supporting Tinubu? I'm not supporting. I'm telling you the fact. I told you that there's no how that Atiku goes there for that party where Obi go become presidential candidate. Some people say, no, it's possible. There's a plan. We are talking to Atiku. Now, see interview. Listen to Atiku talk. Atiku be like person who be say, he go sit down there, Obi will become presidential candidate. How Obi won't win Atiku? How? Atiku, Obi no say, now dollarized primaries, even with the indirect or even with the direct primaries, now dollarized. They'll just speak, 2023, I believe, when Atiku was being campaigned in the north, he said, vote for me because I'm an Hausa man. He started speaking tribal language. Yes, he was campaigning and said so. Those ones are not, vote for me because I'm your brother. So if you reach primary, Atiku will speak language for people. And you see the north. Let's look at this. This may wow you. You see, an average Southeasterner or Southerner, they will tell you that instead of Atiku to become president, let Tinubu rule. They move over to northern Nigeria. An average called northern Muslim. I don't know. Some of them an average northerner. They'll say instead of an Igbo man to become president, let Tinubu go continue. You see the Yorubas are in the middle playing their politics. And we are there. An average northerner will not want an Igbo man to become president. Like, with their head, carry their head. Political party will say, northerners don't invest. Northerners, the way northerners carry that political party, the way they take it serious, like say their life depends on it, then at the end of the day, they will not produce someone like Peter Obi. Peter Obi that is seen as a boy to Atiku. Peter Obi as a boy. You can't take and become, because you want to do what? Even looking at yourself. Okay, if the North loses next year, 2027, 2031 is still the turn of the North. So what do they have to lose? Now you're going to say these Northerners are very, very hypocritical and selfish. So if the Obidient wants to form a new political party, that is the best thing to do. Forget presidency for the next 8 years. Hello? Obidient Movement, structure, plan for the next 8 years. Then you can be sure of having a political platform to win elections. That is how people build political empires. The Obidient Movement is an authentic movement of Nigerians. I don't care whether they say it's Igbo or whatever. People can resonate with the Obidient Movement. Obidient Movement doesn't have to be with Obi. Obidient Movement needs to talk about how governance can get to the people. Politicians, leaders that are people conscious. So forming a political party, like I said it before. They'll say, who is this small boy? What is he saying? What are you saying? I told Peter Obi, I mentioned Peter Obi, not even Atiku. Because I know say that ADC, the North said they will want die for that party. It is their signature, the ADC is their signature. So what is the signature party of the Southeast? The Abga way day, ordinary Abga. You say Southeasterners, politicians, they too get sense. That's why they cannot come together and push for certain things. Politically, for certain things. Together, in little groups, they can align, come together. But at a broader network, they cannot network. As in, all across the Southeast, moving for one agenda. Even 80% of them, they cannot. That is why we are the boys. We are the greatest losers when it comes to politics. I have said it that the Southeast should come together. Come together, put out an agenda. Run with this agenda. Just run it in your region. There's no how we speak with one voice in the Southeast region that any federal mind will come and play politics with us. The person you're going to use to play politics is still part of us. Hello? If people are strong politically, if people are aligned politically, they can go far in this your one Nigeria. One of the reasons I'm fighting for restructuring is because we are going to be the greatest losers of one Nigeria. The Nigerian people first, greatest losers of one Nigeria. The middle belt are going to be greatest losers. The Southeast, South are going to be greatest losers in one Nigeria. You look at the Southwest and the North, they are going to be biggest beneficiaries. The Fulani North, Fulani and the Yorubas, they are going to be the biggest beneficiaries of this Nigeria. I'm telling you, I've told you before that Nigeria is not designed for development. That is why we are pushing for restructuring. So if I'm telling Peter Obi better join the APC. Peter Obi has a pathway. Some of our Yoruba people that watch me now, they like this statement. Me, I'm a politician. I'm a politician. You know what I believe? Okay, I'm from Abia State, and I joined the APC from Abia State. I have political power. Don't you know that irrespective of the APC will not tell me what to do in my Abia State. I'll just be attending party, whatever. You see, even Tinubu was angry with Sanwo-Olu. The project that Sanwo-Olu was commissioning, he was angry with Sanwo-Olu. Even though it was APC. You know, even with how bad a political party is, in your space, in Abia State, in the Southeast, you have some allocations to put the state better. And the party, as wicked as the party people are, they are going to be happy that if you are doing good in your state. So it's not about political party, it's about what the individual is doing with the power that he or she has. Today, Labour Party, look at Labour Party, look at Abia State, look at what Oti is doing. Oti came from APC, is a product of APC. Don't tell me he took advantage of being Labour Party. He's a product of the APC. So I look at individuals, I don't look at political parties. So Peter Obi being in the APC is not, I don't know whether people see this presidency as a badge of honor. When they say not president, when the northern president wins, they start celebrating. The northern president you are celebrating, he does not fix your security. Look at in the north today, people are dying up and down as if they are in war. Even countries that are in war, Iran and US with Israel that are in war, they don't record the casualties we are recording in Nigeria. But when you is a northern, you see as your brain be northern president, they kill you. They will use you as manure. They refuse to fix anything. Because it is not about being a northern president that makes you live a better life, get your amenities, get the dividends of democracy. It is not about being a northern president or being an Igbo president. Okay, Igbos have not been president. So then what? We have Igbo governors, we have Igbo ministers. So if Peter Obi does not become president, that is not a big deal. I know some people will be angry, some of the Yorubas, because I used to listen. This comes from our Yoruba brothers. Peter Obi will not be president. Igbo man will not be president. And some people get angry. Yeah, why are you saying so? Emotional people. The fact they are saying it does not mean that an Igbo man will never be Nigeria's president. The thing that is most important is what are you doing to make sure you prepare yourself for presidency in Nigeria? What kind of network have you been? What kind of politics are you playing? Make sure that you organize yourself, have an agenda, have a political direction for presidency. It's not what people say. It's not what people say. You see the Yorubas now. I used to say that if Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria and this Fulani take over from Tinubu, they are going to deal with the Southwest. You see how the Southwest will start behaving. You see how they start behaving. So loyal, so in servitude. Yes, we are okay. We support your government. We support this and that. We don't even go extra mile, do a lot of campaign for you, so that your mind will be soft to not to do with them. The Yorubas will not confront the Fulanis. You see, but the Igbos, political wisdom is far from our Igbo politicians. Far from our Igbo politicians. They don't have it. This is what that Fulani, they verse up and down. People with Malami get Yoruba Southwest associates that are loyal to him. With El-Rufai, you get Yoruba people who say he cannot take them for granted. That's how the Yorubas play their politics. I don't know whether it's foolishness or stupidity. Most times, I'm a very inquisitive person. I went to a meeting in Lagos. My own is that if I sit down and look at you, I will get a lot of things about you. I looked at Ohaneze Lagos leaders. I saw the pride. I saw the pompousness. That's why they never achieve anything tangible politically. That's why they never even win the hearts of their people politically. You know, we hate the truth. Now here you go listen to the truth. They never, I will never. The arrogance, the pride. I was traveling to my village. I entered the bus. So they dropped us at the Onitsha. So we had to stay till the next morning, and the same company will bring another bus that will take us to Umuahia. I was going to Umuahia. From Umuahia, I entered to Isquato. No happened. We stayed here with mosquito biters. In the morning, a bus came and he told us to enter. We entered an empty bus. We never knew that some people were in that bus that just came down to buy food. We entered an empty bus, and I saw an empty seat. I sat down. An average Igbo man came in, and if you see the way the Igbo man was talking to me, see the arrogance. You see the way they carry themselves. I don't know whether it's frustration. No, it happens in other places. That if I don't know whether you are a very inquisitive person. You will see this trait. In the South, there are some things we need to pull off so that we can see road. But since we refuse, say strong head. That strong head. Now that strong head will use big hammer. If coconut no one break it, they'll carry the coconut. They will break up for ground. Coconut will scatter, and then coconut will come give up. You can't chop the coconut. That's what's happening. So when you look at it, the Obidient Movement, pomposity, no take you anywhere. Originality take you anywhere. You know, you can, if Boko Haram want to infiltrate our Nigerian military, if Boko Haram want to infiltrate Nigerian military, or they want to infiltrate Nigerian military, them infiltrating, joining Nigerian military, it doesn't mean that the Nigerian military will change them from become Boko Haram. They will still keep their originality. They know their purpose of joining the military to infiltrate, get information, to sabotage. They will still keep their original self. You are obedient, you are obedient. Joining the movement or joining this and that does not stop you from becoming obedient. Peter Obi joining the APC does not remove anything from him. Okay, people don't understand. We will understand very soon. Shebi, Atiku don't tell now the clear truth. Let me see what will happen. Let me see the reaction. See, I want to see the reaction of Peter Obi, reaction of Kwakaso, reaction of Amici on this thing that Atiku said. I'm waiting for their reaction. I'm waiting for their reaction. You cannot lead the North. The North will always want to lead you. In any political alliance you want to have with North Nigeria, you are the ones that will play second fiddle. There is never a time that this Northerners will ever present a Southeast person as candidate to lead their party. I'm telling you. Okay, if Atiku, the likes of Atiku and co, if they are not there, qualified, do you think the North will be supporting such political party? The North, they play ethnocentric politics. Look at politics that belong to Northerners. Look at Buhari, CPC. Northerners. NNPP, Northerners. And they tell you that the earlier the better. Stop all these sentiments. In the southern part of this country, let's come together and align our values, align our agenda. The Southwest, now they be senior brother for politics for this. Then senior and Igbo man. They be Baba, they be boss and Igbo man. That does not mean that, personally, I'm not better than many Yoruba people. That does not mean that many Yoruba people are not better than me. That's just the reality. So what is happening now is that Peter Obi, if you are leaving the party, forget presidential election, becoming Nigeria's president. If they are listening to me, I know these clips are on social media. That one young man said such a thing at a particular point in time. So Peter Obi, leave now, go NDC. The NDC you are going, it's not because you want to become president. It's just to build a political formation, a political structure. That's the only way you can win election. Without political structure that you are owning, you cannot win elections. You cannot be relevant.
So for me, Peter Obi's interview on Arise News revealed one very important information that many Nigerians, many Obedients have not realized. And as far as 2027 election is concerned, as far as the future of Nigeria is concerned, it is an information that we must realize. We must bring it to the attention of everybody, and we must make a decision on it before it is too late. Remember, April 21 is a deadline for submission of the membership register for political parties, for persons who want to participate in the primaries of that political party. Now, when the information that is revealed by Peter Obi's interview is made clear to all of us, we'll see why the deadline issue is a very critical issue. What is it that the interview of Peter Obi revealed? It showed to me, it proved to me that Peter Obi knows that his chances of getting ticket on the African Democratic Congress is not sure. He knows it. When Charles asked him, if you don't get the ticket on the platform of the ADC, will you defect to another one? What was his answer? He maintained that, I will not do transactional politics, and I respect him for that. In fact, it's one of the reasons why he's the best candidate to fix Nigeria. He's not a transactional person. And then he says, if the process now begins to resemble the same process that happened in the PDP, that he will be the first to complain. In fact, when Charles asked him again that you have been accused of being a serial political party jumper, he said within his short time in politics, if he has to jump parties 20 times, he will do it. Now, you will only jump a party when you are not sure that you will get ticket. So from the answers that he gave, it becomes clear that Peter Obi himself is not sure that he will get ticket for 2027 on the platform of the African Democratic Congress. He's not sure. Now the question is this: if Peter Obi is not sure he's going to get ticket on the platform of the ADC, what are his options? What is his plan? Is he going to stay in the same ADC and then If Atiku gets the ticket, he will now run as vice president under Atiku? Or is he going to leave the ADC, look for another party, and get a ticket, just like he did in 2022, 2023? Is that what he's going to do? Now, if he's going to stay and his decision is, okay, I'll take vice presidential ticket, that would be terrible. Because he will lose a lot of Nigerians. And it's not me saying it. This has been the position of very many Nigerians that I have spoken to, and they have not hidden it. Now, if he decides that, okay, the best alternative is to leave the ADC to go and get ticket somewhere else, here's the dilemma, and why I say the future of Nigeria and the 2027 election is at stake. The leadership crisis in the African Democratic Congress is in court. In fact, the rumors are there that even the convention that was held, there was a court order stopping the convention. But then again, they went ahead, they did the convention. The prayers now are that it doesn't turn out to be like the case of PDP with their Ibadan convention under Seyi Makinde. We all know how that has turned out in the favor of Wike and his group. Even though we also hear now that, what's his name, Nafiu Balagombe, is organizing his own parallel ADC convention for April 21. Would that not also be in violation of the court order that the Dumebi Kachiku group has gone to acquire in court? All right. Now, if that court order is anything to go by, the case for the leadership of the ADC has been given accelerated hearing. At least David Mark's lawyers have confirmed that Justice Emeka Wite has accepted and granted accelerated hearing from April 22nd, April 23rd, and there run or afterwards. Now here's the danger. By the time Justice Emeka Wite is hearing the leadership case in an accelerated hearing process, it will already have been too late for Peter Obi to move to any other political party to get tickets, because April 22nd, April 23rd is already 2 days after the April 21 deadline that INEC has given. What does that mean for Peter Obi? It means that he is permanently stuck or trapped in the ADC if he has to wait for the leadership crisis in the ADC to be resolved. It means that if anything, if ticket is the target for 2027 for Peter Obi and for Nigeria, then Peter Obi has to leave now. In fact, a better strategy would be for Peter Obi to join this coalition from a position of strength. Position of strength in the sense that Peter Obi can defect, go to another political party, join them in that primaries, get the ticket of that party, and now come back to them Atiku to start talking coalition from a position of strength. If the coalition then does not work, then we can now start talking coalition of the people, which is the de facto. That's the de facto. So this is for you and for me as Nigerians who love Peter Obi and who want a new Nigeria to be birthed, to advise him. If the signals we are getting from that interview on Arise News TV is anything to go by, the time to leave the ADC is now. Get tickets and then probably come back, because he himself is sure that his ticket for 2027 is not sure in ADC. When I talk to her, I beg.